Hello. Hello out there. Hello. I'm just checking to see if you can hear me. So I'll just wait for the first person to come along. Let's see. Da dee da dee da da. I see that somebody's there. Hello. Hi. Can you hear me? Can you just send me a little message just to let me know? Hey Claire, can you hear me? I'm just making sure because I've got a different microphone today. So if you could ping me a message just to let me know if you can. Thanks Claire, that worked great. Okay, I'm going to get on with it then. All right. Hi everybody. Hello from Northwest England in the town of Carnforth, where they filmed Brief Encounter years ago. And this is in the northern part of Lancashire. I realized that I've watched a few of these videos from various people, and they talk about being wherever they are, but they don't always let people know that which country they're in, or which state. They just say the name of their town. So I'm over here in England, which is always amazing to me, even still. And today I'm going to do a whole bunch of requests, actually. I've done 2 of these live videos, and I've asked people to send me some requests. So I'm actually really going out on a limb today, because most of the songs that were requested, I've never actually played myself. I've sung them, but I haven't been the person playing the instruments. So I just came up with my own ways of doing them. So this will be interesting, and I thought, well, I could work on this for another couple of weeks and then play these songs for you. But I realized that's just silly, because we all know we're not perfect, and when I come and play a show for you wherever you are, I work for months getting those shows ready, and this has just been kind of like a week that I've been working on these songs. And so I'm just going to do that, just because. And I know it's a bit early for people over in the States, but I will put this video up so that people can watch it when they wake up. So I'm just going to start out actually with a song that I wrote for the Picnic in the Sky album, which is, I think I have one right here. So I'll show the album cover to you. I'm just going to come here so I can see what I'm doing. There it is. That's my my Aunt Edith, who's in her 90s now. Hey Jean, hey Joseph. And that's my great-grandmother, Narcy Smith, my great-grandfather, Avery Smith. And that's a mystery man. So, and I think that's my cousin Corky. So, this song is the last song on this disc, Made as New. And I'm going to, it's a gospel song, and I'm going to play it on the Melodeon, if you can believe that. I can hardly believe it. But before my dad passed away, he was learning this instrument, and he was going to teach it to me, and we'd just done a couple of pushes and pulls, and so I never did get a chance to learn it from him. But the Englishman and I were over in Berlin, in Germany, and we were at a kind of flea market, and a fella had this for sale, and so he got it for me. And this is made in East Germany, Melodeon. And this song is called Made as New, and the woman who requested this song is Gerry, and she lives over near Newport Richey on the west coast of Florida, on the Gulf Coast. And This is also a song close to the heart of my friend Kim Sherman, who owns the North American Guitar Center in Nashville, Tennessee, because her grandmother, Dalvey, inspired this song in part because she had mentioned to Kim about being made as new in heaven. And Kim spoke with me about that, and I said, well, that's exactly the thing that my great-grandmother would say to me. When you go to heaven, you'll be made as new. So that inspired the song. All right, let's see how this goes. There you go. That's for my friend Gerry and my friend Kim back in the United States. So I'm just going to come around and see who's there and make sure you can hear me. And hello. Oh, Allie. Hi. How are you? Aw. So this is another request, a country song. I'm going to play this for my friend Suzanne over near Hull. And I know my friend Nicolle also. This This is one of her favorite songs. This song is only on one record. It's only live. I'll bring this up after, but it's from this record, which is Sweet Song Coming Round, which is a collection of live performances, and I will bring that up after I sing it. But this is called Silver Rocket, and it's a song that was inspired by the character of Marianne Dashwood in Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. So it's quite fun to sing this over here in England. And of course, Marianne Dashwood goes out on open carriage rides with the dastardly Mr. Willoughby, and he even begs a lock of her hair from her. But of course, he makes her believe that he's passionately in love with her, and maybe he is, but the fact is he needs money, and he decides to marry a wealthy woman who has a big yearly income, and he leaves Marianne Dashwood exposed to, public censure, because of course everyone has seen them out together. Very shocking. And at some point he sends her back all of her letters, and he sort of claims that she had misunderstood his feelings. And so the lyrics come from Marianne Dashwood's perspective. And what better than to turn a Jane Austen novel into a country song? I just think it makes perfect sense to me. I gave you everything I had. I think I gave you more than that. And all I asked was love's return. I was misled and I got burned. I thought our love was a burning green, the silver rocket, fiery thing. But fire was not to be our fate, just bitter ashes in my mistake. Though I remember what you said, it seems our love was just in my head. I heard you say I got a lot to learn, but touch my heart and feel it burn. I thought our love was a burning green, a silver rocket, fiery thing. But fire was not to be our fate, just bitter ashes in my mistake. I thought our love was a burning green, the silver rocket, fiery thing. But fire was not to be our fate, just bitter ashes in my mistake. No, fire was not to be our fate, just bitter ashes in my mistake. Well, that's Jane Austen as a country song. You heard it here first. I'll just tell you, this here is like a 1956 Gibson dreadnought guitar. And she came to me in a very special way. There's a long story about that, but I will just say that this was given to me by the parents of a boy named Graham Gilbert, and he passed away when he was just a little boy of leukemia. And I happened to sing, Billy and I sung at his funeral, and his father gave this guitar as a gift. But Kim Sherman, who I spoke about earlier in this video, was the one who chose the guitar, and she knew I'd always wanted a big old Gibson guitar, and so this is the one she chose for me. And down here on the these pins, which pin in the strings, there they are. Those pins are made of a bell from a church in Germany, a bell that was being decommissioned, and so that's how I came to get that guitar, and I bought those bells made into little guitar buttons there. And here's the CD in which you can find Silver Rocket, and that's a picture I took out where there used to be an old film set, actually, a film set where you could film your westerns, and now it's turned into a park out in California. And there's some more photographs from out west, and Silver Rocket is on this CD. And I'm going to sing another song from this CD now as well. I'm going to sing a song called Windmill. And for that song, I need this guitar, which is a froggy bottom guitar, handmade in Vermont. And the reason I need this guitar is because it has a big old bass. And I'm going to play a lot of E minor chords in this song, so I need this guitar for that sound that I like. It's meant to sound like the sort of the West, an open space, and the wind blowing. Because this song is about a woman who it's based on a true story of a woman who met a man in Richmond, Virginia, in my home state, and he was just coming there to pick up supplies before he headed out to his homestead in West Texas. West Texas is a very sparsely populated place. It's probably the most sparsely populated part of Texas, which has some pretty sparse spots in it. But I used to play at a library out in Fort Stockton, Texas, on Interstate I-10, and I'm telling you, it's very sparse. And this woman moved out there not really having thought very much about what it would be like to move out to West Texas. And she realized that her house was going to be underground in a kind of house we have in America called a dugout. And there aren't very many of those anymore, but there are still some. And their cows froze the first winter, and the only timber they could really get a hold of, they used to put down the roof on top of this hole in the ground in which they lived. So they sort of walked down into their house as you would into an underground basement. And the thing that she had to remind her of home were a couple of bags of scraps of fabric from the clothing and the household materials from her family back in Richmond, Virginia. And so that first winter that she lived there, she made quilts and she also made a baby. And in the spring, she had a brand new baby girl, and she had a bunch of quilts to keep them warm over the next winter. And that was that's the inspiration for this song, is the story told by the daughter of this woman. And it's told in a book called The Quilters, which is a series of interviews with women who all went out to West Texas during the early days when there was just about nothing out there. And I'm going to send this song out to Michael Brand, who now lives down in Louisiana, but I met him up in the Washington, D.C., Maryland area, and he's been a fan for a long time. And he asked for 3 different songs, and this is the one I chose from the 3 he requested, because I thought it would be a challenge, as I have never ever played it on an instrument. I've only just ever sung it. So I've got 2 instruments here, harmonica and this guitar, and I'm going to sing you this song called Windmill. Mama said I'm west from Virginia, from a house with columns and grass as green as her eyes. Never once did she cry on that long wagon ride. She loved Daddy as soon as she saw him. Mama said the first year was the hardest, between the dust storms coming and the freeze that took the cows. I came along in spring thought we'd die beneath this endless Texas sky. That windmill is spinning, got mama through. Well, there's the song Windmill from Sweet Song Comin' Round, live album. And I really love singing that song, so thank you to Michael for suggesting it. And I'll try to get to one of your other two requests, remaining requests, the next time. I'm just going to put this down and get another instrument. Now this is a funny instrument that I'm going to grab hold of right now. I'm going to grab hold of a sewing machine, and I'm going to, I'll bring you this record. This is the Oxygen. Hey Elvis and Steve and Bev. Oh, hey Bev, how's the dancing going? Oh, Elvis. Well, anyhow, this is the Oxygen Girl record. There it is. And that has a song on it called The British Invisible Mending Service. And my friend Kate has requested this song. So I'm going to sit down here at this unusual instrument, the sewing machine. Hello. And I'm going to sing this song for Kate Scales. Kate is the best friend of my friend Celia, and she came to see me for the first time last fall, where I played a house concert in London. And so she got tickled by this song, which is about a place, 32 Thayer Street in London's famous West End, where there's a place called the British Invisible Mending Service, where you can take your clothes and have them mended for a fee. And when you turn them in, what did you say?
Made as new.
You can have your clothes made as new. That's the Englishman piping up back there. That's right, you can have them made as new, and the way they do that is by sending them to Wales to be repaired by elves with gossamer threads and all of that kind of thing, by magic really. And then the Welsh elves send the clothes back to London town, and you can go get them out of hock if you've got cash. Anyhow, I just thought that the fact that they said on their website that they could do alterations and repairs of the extraordinary kind made me wonder that if they could mend your clothes, if they could also mend a broken heart. So that's how I came to invent this song. And obviously it needs to be played on a Singer sewing machine, not just any instrument, but the les mots justes of instruments. So here we go. This is for Kate. When only proper invisible mending will do, my love-lorn friend, try 32 Thayer Street in London's famous West End. The British Invisible Mending Service, with tears they are discreet. They'll mend your broken heart threads picked from your sleep. The warp and the weft will hide all signs of pain when the professional menders have worked their magic again. Alterations and repairs of the extraordinary kind. No heart too broken, they mend them all. They mend them all in time. When only proper invisible mending will do, my lovelorn friend. Try 32 Thayer Street in London's famous West End. Do 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 do. The British Invisible Mending Service receives the widest acclaim for their old-fashioned methods on hearts with dire complaints. However torn and tattered the threads of your love may be, they'll weave your dreams together with seamless alchemy. Alterations and repairs of the extraordinary kind. No heart too broken, they mend them all. They mend them all in time. When only proper invisible mending will do, my lovelorn friend. Try 32 Thayer Street in London's famous West End. Do 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 da 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 dee 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 da da dee 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 da 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 da. Alterations and repairs of the extraordinary kind. No heart too broken, they mend them all. They mend them all in time. When only proper invisible mending will do, my lovelorn friend. Try 32 Thayer Street in London's famed West End. When only proper invisible mending will do, my lovelorn friend. Try 32 Thayer Street in London's famed West End. There's a little tissue cozy which I've made while singing that song for you. And that's coming to you in the mail, Kate, as a thank you for requesting the song. So, there you go. All right, well, I'm going to move away from the sewing machine to a different instrument. So, I'll be back with you over here in just a second. Got my cameraman here helping me out. I've got all these cushions around because I've just finished making a whole bunch of cushions. This is one of my very favorites of the new cushions. This is in honor of Woody Guthrie's song, "The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round." And I do love riding the bus, but of course now in these circumstances, I just use my feet. Hey Paul, hey Mary Ellen. So this is one of the new cushions. And I've got this one around too. This one is one with chickens in the middle. My dad always kept chickens, and I love to try to pick them up. They didn't really love being picked up, but, you know, you can't help yourself sometimes. Now, this here song is another song from the Oxygen Girl CD, and this is a song that was requested by my friend Robyn. Now, I'm just getting here they are, getting the words. I went to, whoa, those are small. I went to India with Robyn, and so one of her favorite songs of mine. And she asked me to sing this, and it's also a favorite song of Rebecca Hall from the band Hungry Town. And, oh, is Rebecca watching? Hi, Rebecca, how are you? Well, that's good timing, because I'm about to sing Golden Thread, so you can sing with me. I should have been telling you the keys these songs were in, but I'm going to play this in the key of B. So this is for Rebecca and for Robyn, and it's also for Allison Eastman, who wrote this song with me out in California when I was making this record. It's just a song about making a fresh start, and I imagine that many of us will be making a fresh start in the next year. In fact, we sort of make a fresh start every day that we wake up and get on with things. I had a long and golden thread, and I held it for a while. Then one day I let it go. I had a sad and worried thought, and I kept it for a while. Then one day I let it go. 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 These things I thought were mine, I let them go. I had a dream I thought was mine, and I lived it for a while. Then one day I let it go. I had a song I knew by heart, and I sang it for a while. Then one day I let it go. 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 These things I thought were mine, I let them go. I had a road I knew so well, and I walked it many miles. And then one day I let it go. I had a heart I held so tight, and a love I'd saved for years. And then one day I let it go. 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 These things I thought were mine, I let them go. I let it go. I let it go. I let it go. I let it go. These things I thought were mine, I let them go. Well, that's the first time I've ever performed that song, and I had a really good time. The fun thing about doing an all-request set is that I get to play some things I just probably wouldn't choose, or things I've just never played. I've certainly never played on my own. So now I've got one more request, and then I might play a little trombone for you. That auto harp, by the way, it was handmade for me by John Hollingsworth in Christiansburg, Virginia. I have a friend here named John Hollingworth who lives in Preston, and so I have to remember to say Hollingsworth. when I speak about the John in Christiansburg, and his company is called Blue Ridge Instruments, and that's the only auto harp he ever made out of curly maple wood. And he wondered how it would come out. No, bird's eye maple. Sorry, bird's eye maple. And I requested that wood because my grandmother, Mama Margie, used to have paneling, fake paneling, in the bedroom where I slept, and it had bird's eye maple on it. And I used to get afraid of the little eyes in the wall because they made me think of scary owls or something. And I thought all those little eyes on the wall were watching me, and I couldn't sleep. And Mama came in one time and she said, "Honey, why are you fussing and not sleeping?" And I said, "Well, all of those eyes are watching me on the wall." She said, "Honey, that's the eye of God looking over you." And I never was afraid in that room ever again. So that's why I asked for bird's eye maple on my auto harp. And he said he felt like it was one of the best sounding ones he'd ever made, which really made me happy. It's very hard wood to work with, very difficult wood to work with. So I was pleased that he tried it for me. Now this here song was requested by the Englishman, and it is a song I wrote here while I was in England in the summer of 2016. And I wrote it on a classical guitar. And so I'm going to play it on a classical guitar. I didn't write it on this particular one. This particular one I got over at Cotton Music, or the North American Guitar in Nashville, from my friend Kim Sherman. And it used to belong to a man named Jay. And Jay he's still around, but he's retired from music now. And he was a fixture on the Florida folk music scene, so I feel really pleased to have Uncle Jay's guitar. This is called The Shipping News, and it's based on the shipping forecast, which is a daily, do it a couple of times a day, news briefing here in England on BBC Radio 4, where they tell you all the weather and conditions for the ships out at sea. And when I used to stay with the Englishman in his house, I would hear sounds coming through his door if I got up in the night to do some songwriting. And I always wondered if he was learning a language in his sleep or possibly being hypnotized. But the fact is that he was listening to the shipping forecast because it's very soothing. And I now listen to it my own self. But I thought, what if there were two couples? There was a couple and they were separated by the miles. And so they listened to the shipping forecast to try to find signs of each other in the broadcast. And of course, now lots and lots of people are separated because of the pandemic, and they must be listening for signs of each other in all kinds of places. I didn't call the song The Shipping Forecast because forecast is difficult to rhyme. You can do it, but I think it would be awkward. So I took a liberty and called it The Shipping News. Oh, the man, he seems so quiet as he reads the fog and mist. But my heart, it has run riot since the day that we first kissed. Oh, the man, he reads the forecast, which changes like my moods. Thunder, wind, and lightning, I will weather them for you. Sorry. I search all was happy about that. And I once played a concert for my friend Helen, her house out in Beverley in East Yorkshire in England. And there was a fella there named Rob. And Rob is an illustrator. And he asked me at the break if I would sing this song. And I got so overexcited during the concert that I never did sing it. So I'll send that out to Rob as well. I finally sung it for you, Rob. So let me put this away. I'll be looking at all your comments and things afterwards. Oh, and hello, and Edward and Gabby. Hey, Gabby. Oh, wow. It's so good to see everybody. Oh, and Abby. Oh. Oh. Ann used to see me in Arlington, Virginia. Virginia Burton's house. And there's Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Well, it's very nice of everybody to pop in. I know that these things come on, and then sometimes you're in the middle of things, and you can't possibly stay and watch. But if you come later, it'll be here for you, and I'll put it up on YouTube as well. Now, look at this. A trombone. Can you believe it? This is the last thing I'm going to do for you today, but thanks to my really great friend Hazel Davis, who lives in Huddersfield in the southern part of Yorkshire, I'm going to make a couple of dresses for her young girls, a couple of party dresses in exchange for this trombone. She was deciding between the trombone and the trumpet, and she chose the trumpet, so I lucked out and got this trombone. Now, I started playing trombone in 4th grade when I was 9 years old, and my parents rented one for me, and then they eventually bought it, and I carried it from one school to the next, all the way up until I went to Davidson College. And the thing I will say, if there are any parents out there, is that getting your child involved in band will give them, or choir, or musical theater, but this kind of music means that no matter where they are, they will always have a community, and that will always be part of their life one way or another. Even if they don't play trombone for 20 years or so, and they pick it up again, it will mean so much to them. And this means so much to me to have this trombone and to be playing it again. So I'm going to send this out to my friend Gerry, who requested Made Is New, because that's the song that I'm going to play on it. But I'm also going to send this out to my friend Jim Lindsay in Virginia, who had a great chat with me online about marching band and about a relative of his named York, who played in a marching band. And of course, he knew my dad from the marching band at Richlands High School. And my mom played the bells, the xylophone. I'm sure she looked incredibly cute in her outfit. Now, this is a trombone, and I haven't played it in many years, so I'm not making an excuse so much as just saying this will not be to the standard of my normal shows, but I'm just challenging myself to play it for you right now, and of course I haven't warmed it up. And I need to get my embouchure in shape, all the mouth muscles that you use to make all these notes. It's been a long time since I was 20 when I stopped playing trombone. So let's just try it for fun. And so this song goes, I will be made as new, I will leave this world I knew, I will go to a far off land to be made new by God's hand. Just so you know the melody of it. really have to lose. I'm starting to learn the longer that I'm around on this earth, you may as well just give it a try after all, you know? So I've had such a good time sitting here playing these songs for you, with you. Thank you for asking for them. If you have other requests, let me know. I've really enjoyed working on these requests, and I hope you have a really good day. It's very gray here in Northwest England in Lancashire, but I've tried to make a bit of a bright brightness today in your home, and I hope it will continue to be bright. And I'm just going to say goodbye now. Goodbye. Thank you very much for being with me this morning. Okay, bye.